90% heart attacks are preventable. You know this data, right? But then the question is that what is happening in our system that, like, by the time we finish this talk, already there are 10 people drop dead with heart attack, right? So something is wrong in the way we are doing, even with this high-tech care and drugs or whatever it is. So today, the whole idea is, like how you said, Greg, right, that the whole idea is that how can we stay away from heart attack? So we are talking about that. And second thing is that how to avoid unnecessary surgeries. Okay, so this brings in a good part because I like US about all the science, technology, the cutting edge stuff. But I feel that India has its own thing. And even like matters here is about the Chinese and the Oriental acupuncture and all that. So I feel that Oriental therapies also have a role to play. And do you know that the heart disease, if anybody has blockages, anybody has coronary artery blockages out here? Yeah, so yeah, and have gone through all that stuff. So this disease is like almost, like US has a very recent history of few 400, 500 years, but in India we have a history of 4,000 years in the original textbooks where this disease is mentioned about the coronary blockages. Okay, and people used to live beyond 100 years, even with those blockages. So this is what we're going to talk today. When we talk of heart disease, there are a lot of things. There are valves. Some people have leaky valves. The valves become tight. Or some people have got congenital heart disease, but we are not talking about that. We are all adults here now. And have got rhythm problems. They are told pacemaker or anyone out here with rhythm problems. So yeah, right. So many times there are multiple things going on out there, right? Today, whether it is like rhythm issues or valvular issues or the coronary artery issues, whatever issues, there are two aspects which we are going to talk about. One is the lifestyle part of it, and another is the device which I'm going to talk about in greater details, which is known as external counter pulsation. So that is something which is a non-invasive. That is a new thing which you wanted to know, that what is a modality and how does it work and how it has served, because that is my main expertise. I have done more than 20 years successfully with more than 10,000 cases. So a lot of amazing data I have to share and science. So that is what we're going to talk about. So when we look at the heart and these three coronary arteries, and some of you have got blockages here, the question to ask is that when do you think the blockages start developing? If as I told you, this is a safe space you can share. Like, you just think that if you got a diagnosis like with a blockage or anything, what was that age? If you got it at 40 or 35, when do you think the blockages would have started developing?
From childhood.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what they did the research that we all like French fries, right? So what is happening is that all this French fries is starting to deposit, as we are. There are small plaques. They did research that actually they did in the armed forces where the soldiers who were dead between 18 to 24, they did the postmortem studies and they found that 20 to 30% blockages were there. Okay? So now, no wonder when the diagnosis happens, the blockage has already come to 70 to 90 or 100%. Okay? And this is why I think today's forum is extremely important, because most of the people come to know when the blockages are advanced, either with a symptom or a heart attack, right? So people get heart attack. Oh, so two times we think of heart. Once when we fall in love, then break up, and then a heart attack. In between, we forget the heart, It does not exist, right? So today, one more thing which we are going to do is that how are we going to become heart friendly? That's the whole thing. And what are we going to do so that every time, I wish, sometimes like we invented a scan that whenever we are eating something would like how come up on your phone, like, this is what is happening inside, right? But we don't have that as yet. So we have to use our brain and be mindful. That's very important. 50% of the responsibility is because of the wrong food habits, which is the lifestyle choices which you make. And another biggest thing is stress, as you said. It increases the risk by 400%, and especially emotional stress. And that's the reason we are talking about the mind and mindfulness and how can we regulate our emotions. I think we're going to talk about conflict resolution, right?
I think that's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, Mark loves to talk about emotions, and I think today he wants to talk about a little bit about conflict resolution. So regulating your emotions is also very important. So this is like diving into the root causes, and even if we are doing like proper diet or exercise, and many of your people are pretty good. I've got my yoga friends here; they're meditating, but still there is something which causes things in us and which needs to be detected. So we'll talk about that. So if you look, the blockages are not developed overnight. As I told you that it's a journey. And one thing which I want you to take home this message very clearly is that we don't have to freak out looking at those blockages, because what happens in standard care today, I'm really speaking my heart out, and this is the truth. So what happens in standard care is that when you see these blockages, oh, it is 90%, it's very critical, you have to do something now, or this will happen, that will happen. So first thing is that what I am upset about is creating fear around heart disease. Do you agree with me on this? That there is so much fear created around heart disease. And I believe that education is a key. When patients are empowered and given right knowledge and education, things change. Because I have worked with patients with 90, 100% blockages, heart failures, critical heart disease, and they come out as champions without doing any surgeries. Okay, so there is an inherent power in our body to heal ourselves, and mind plays a big role. So when I start putting in the fear, so that is where I start controlling you for everything, and then this whole system is there. So today we have to be a part of the system, unfortunately, but the whole thing is that I wanted to empower you that how can you navigate the system. Isn't it cool? How can we navigate the system? That's very important for us to understand, because we have to be on the road. We know that there are bumps. We know there's going to be like a hard time, but if we are prepared for the trip, we can reach better, right? So this is what about. So what happens is that, as I told you, that when we do this angiogram, we see these blockages. So there are these certain myths. Okay. Now, when you see this gentleman, he has got 100% blockage, and many of you know that left side is one of the main arteries. They call it widowmaker. This gentleman is without doing a surgery for 20 years. With what I have done, I'm going to share with you. How is it possible? We have got what we call collaterals.
Yeah.
And the angiogram, when we do, it does not show you the collaterals. So we have to understand that because, and you have to have this knowledge now, because when we are in emergency, when procedures are being done, we don't have time to think. Okay. So one thing we have to understand that blockage is there, but that is not equal to the blood supply. Because we think that, oh, I have this, but the whole idea is that what is the blood supply? We need to see the blood supply. And I am having a hard time out here that all these surgeries are done. I talk to the cardiologist that why don't you test the blood supply? Whether the person really requires that surgery or not. And those tests are not being done. You know what the answer is? You know what answer I get? Insurance does not cover it. What I'll do is that, can we do one thing as a housekeeping? I'll just finish something what I have to say. Otherwise, I'll just keep on like diving in. So we'll keep question and answers after I finish. Okay. And then I'm more than happy to share that. Okay. Otherwise, I'll lose the track of what I have to say. So what I wanted to share was that we have got collaterals and we can develop that. And the ones who do not have heart disease right now can also work on it. Because if you want to live lifelong away from heart disease, building those collaterals and not creating those blockages is the key. Okay, so there are many healthy ones over here also. So that is a possibility. Now, why, like, you've got stents again. How many stents you have got?
Around 30.
30 stents. I think now there is no place to put stents,
There
maybe.
can't be any more.
Yeah. So the point is that when we are stenting, what is happening? Why the stents have to be repeated again and again? Don't you think that the real treatment should be working on the cause so that these blockages don't occur? That should be the treatment, and that is what is the future. I feel, that is what we all should be working upon. So this is what happens, and then so the cases. So though I talk about prevention, but what happens that out of 1,000 people only there's one person who wants to do prevention. Unfortunately, I have other side of the story. I've been talking all my life because most of the people are busy with activities. So even though I talk about prevention, but most of the people I met in my life were after doing stents or bypass, or they have no answers. So I ended up treating people with multiple angioplasties, bypass. So in bypass also we are not removing the blockage, because this is another myth. People think that when we are doing surgeries, something they will open, they will clean up, and then they will stitch it, and I'll fine, and I can have my fries again. So this is another thing. Okay, so we have to understand this truth, that it does not remove the blockages.